Amazon workers at one New York warehouse were recently offered a little extra dough by the company, which sounds good, right? Extra dough, everyone wants extra dough, but not in the form of a raise or a bonus, of course not. Instead, this Amazon warehouse told their employees that they could write a letter about their financial struggles to Pecky. And Pecky, you might wonder, who is that guy? Who's Pecky? Well, it's the company's mascot. And if they write a letter, they might just get a chance to win something, a little bit of financial aid. Now, number one, let me just get this out of the way. If you're working a full-time job, you shouldn't be in a position to ask for financial aid, but here we are, this is America. Here's the letter in question. I'll read what it says. It's letters to Pecky. Are you or someone you know facing financial hardship this holiday season? Pecky wants to help. Write a letter to Pecky. If the Pecky team selects you, some of your holiday wishes could come true. Okay. Now, Pecky is the little orange blob that you see at the very bottom of that letter. And in an interview with Fast Company, an Amazon HR director said, he's called Pecky because he represents our peculiar ways. We call ourselves at Amazon very peculiar. So the workers were not pleased by this. I'm gonna give you a few comments from the workers, how they reacted to it. Keith Williams, for instance, is one of those workers at the warehouse, and he told The Guardian, it's startling to see them shell out all this money to promote Amazon, get us excited about Amazon, but not actually give us what would endear us to Amazon, which would be a living wage. Keith Williams continues to say, we just want to share in some of the efforts that we do for Amazon. We want wages, not trinkets. They have raffles for us. If they see us working real hard, they'll give us 3 tickets, and out of all the people here putting tickets in, we might get something. Or they'll put a Pecky pin on our desk so everyone knows we're doing great, instead of just giving us the safety and security of a living wage. Williams said several ambulances had already pulled up at the facility this peak season. People are being pushed past their limit, he said. And by the way, if you want some broader information about the working conditions at Amazon, an April study from Strategic Organizing Center found that in 2022, the rate of worker injuries at Amazon was 70% higher than those at similar warehouses. And the rate of serious injuries was double that of other warehouses.
Wow, and my guess as to why that's happening is because of the previous reporting that we shared with you guys about how they are obsessed with speed. And the faster you go, sometimes the less precautions you take, the more pressure there is to keep going even under unsafe conditions. So addressing that would be infinitely better than sending Pricky or whatever that thing is.
Pecky.
Hey.
Because they're peculiar.
Yeah, right. By the way, it has a huge Miss Minutes vibe to it. And there's some chance they thought it'd be cool. Like that Miss Minutes is a character in Loki in the Marvel series.
Obviously, I know that.
Anna, you knew that.
I'm totally plugged into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh yeah, and Miss Minutes, by the way, almost destroys all of existence. Sorry for the spoiler alert. So I'm not sure Pecky is the right way to go. This is like when Trump was bragging about being Thanos. Thanos killed half the known universe, so not like the brag that you think it is.
Yeah, look, I just think that companies, and not all companies are like this. I don't think you're like this, right? I don't think TYT is like this. Like we have a proper, here are your goals, you hit your goals, you meet the revenue goals, then you're gonna get a raise, you're gonna get a bonus. Like there's a system in place and everyone understands what the targets are and what. In this case, it's just insulting the intelligence of the workers as if they're not catching on to the fact that rather than improving their lives with better pay, better working conditions, they're engaging in the trinket giving. Or honestly, in this case, like a competition, like pitting the workers against one another to see who Pecky is gonna reward. That's insane, that's insane.
Imagine
they're not children.
Imagine if we did an animated Jenki.
Or no, I mean, I would be the first to pull you aside and be like, bro, what are you doing? This is a bad idea.
Well, guys, so there's no raises, there's no nothing, but you get Jenki. Okay, no, hard pass.
So by the way, what's particularly egregious about this story, other than like infantilizing the very workers who are generating the revenue for your company, is the fact that Amazon is raking in the dough, paying nothing in federal taxes, and certainly has the resources to pay their workers a better wage and improve their working conditions. So let's get to those details, okay? Because last quarter, Amazon made over, this number is insane, just in one quarter, 140 billion with a B in revenue. That's a lot of money.
Jesus, man, that is unbelievable.
It's a lot of money.
That is a stunning amount of money.
Now, you shouldn't confuse revenue with profits, because revenue means all the money they made, and then you have to pay people, pay the vendor, whatever, all of that stuff, right? Pay the bills. But in pure profit in the last quarter, Amazon made $10 billion, okay?
Okay, that's in one quarter.
One quarter.
Okay, so you have to multiply that by 4 at a minimum, because the last quarter is usually the best quarter, especially for Amazon. So once you make over 40 billion in profit per year, and you're not paying your workers as much, but you're getting them Pricky and Pecky and Betty and whoever else.
Yeah, no one wants that.
No, come on, brothers and sisters, let alone the taxes.
Now let's get to the taxes, because as we have been sharing with you consistently in various news stories over the years, the 2017 Trump era tax cuts overwhelmingly benefited the very corporations that Trump claimed to want to drain the swamp of. So when it comes to Amazon in particular, let's talk about what that tax law did for them. In 2018, Amazon posted income of more than $11 billion, but the company paid $0 in federal taxes. In fact, thanks to tax credits and deductions, Amazon actually received a federal tax refund of $129 million. That was a year after Amazon received a $137 million refund from the federal government for 2017. 2017, of course, was the first year that Trump-era tax law was enacted. And President Donald Trump is a frequent critic of Amazon for paying little to no taxes to state and local governments, though the Trump administration's 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act helped to lower the statutory corporate tax rate. In fact, they lowered it from 35% to 21%, but never make the mistake of thinking either one of those was an effective tax rate, because considering the deductions, the effective tax rate is actually much, much lower. In the case of Amazon, they get this massive tax refund from the federal government, even though clearly they are making tremendous profits.
Yeah, Trump's so full of crap. Oh, I'm gonna be so tough on Amazon. I'm just kidding, Amazon. Here's a giant tax cut. And you know what? Oh, I can't believe they're not paying their taxes. Here's how I'm playing. If I get back into office, I'm gonna cut it again to 15%. You don't have to pay any, don't worry about it. Oh my God, I am so mad at Jeff Bezos. Ha ha ha, you are terrible. I am going to get you. You paid $0 again, way to go. Paying taxes is for suckers and losers. You just see how much I cheated on my taxes. And this is your populace who's for the average American. We go to Trump rallies all the time. You go to YouTube.com/The Young Turks. You'll see tons of interviews with Trump supporters, and they all are 100% convinced that Trump is looking out for the average guy. Meanwhile, he's helping these corporations rob you blind. If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.